Very good morning, and today is July 16th and time is about 9:21. So I had some overnight positions and I have exited. The reason being sometimes if I have overnight positions, I tend to build on top of those and then I end up doing some mistakes. So I always wanted to start my day as fresh as it can. So that's the reason I have closed, and I will come back to this chart in a moment. So right now I'm using 15 minutes candle, and this got a probability of close to 66%, and the low it says 23632 and the median is about 23765. I do not have any active trade, so right now even if it goes up it's not much worried. 23896 is the highest, probably 23900. I think that's the highest it says, and let me look at the peak. It went, I remember it's 24, I think. That's what I remember. Yeah, it's 24052. So pretty much the highest it shows around that kind of a level. So these lines I drew just before this video and about 919 or whatever. So this is ideally, if everything goes well, it should be 23750 straddle. But yeah, anything can happen. There could be definitely some injections, some spikes, some drops. Keep a watch on this. So right now I probably will do very less quantity on Finnifty, and I will mostly do some trades on Nifty. That's the plan right now. When I go back to Nifty, so that, let me get rid of this, and Nifty, yeah, I think 15 minutes candle looks super bullish, and tomorrow is holiday. Probably this would not work linear regression as of today. The reason is, let's see, yeah, I think it works. So it actually considered Wednesday being holiday in the trading view. Let's look at what it shows. If this channel works well, which got close to 90% probability right now. Let's look at Thursday, 3:30. Well, so it actually suggests that it can go until 24969, which is obviously all-time high, and the bottom is at about 24777. But then tomorrow being holiday, there could be some changes, but right now I will go with this as the highest point, which is 24950 or whatever. That's the probably the CE position that I may have, and bottom I do not want to take risk because pretty much the view looks quite bullish for the 15 minutes candle. And let me look at 1 day. Yeah, 1 day view also looks quite bullish with close to 80% probability, and you also have 1 hour also looks quite bullish. So pretty much Nifty looks like bullish, and I think the budget would be proposed in the parliament day, the 23rd or 24th of this month. So maybe until such a time, either it could be bullish or neutral. I'm not expecting market to fall until such a date, but let's see. As I said, none of us can predict tomorrow, or none of us can predict future. If there is one popular saying, if anybody says that they can actually predict future, they just need to go to Wall Street and then make $1 million each day. So same with the India market also. So yeah, so these are all like forecasting predictions, right? So any of those things can go wrong, but this is what my view right now. Obviously Nifty is bullish, and let's look at Finnifty. Finnifty is a bit of a flat. At least the probability is quite low, but let's look at 1 day chart here. Day chart also, Finnifty is, yeah, it looks quite bullish, and yeah, I think that's all. Now let me quickly show the trades that I had today. As I said, I did close Finnifty pretty much all the positions, and then what is this? Oh, this guy again came back with the Hall of Fame. Okay. All right. So Finnifty I closed everything, and Nifty side I do have overnight position. So as I said yesterday, I stayed bullish on Nifty. That's the reason I have these positions 24350. And then I also have 24900 mainly to compensate, mainly as a covered call against my portfolio in case if Nifty falls. I'll still be able to have this. I think probably today what I'll do is I will keep adding some positions to Nifty. I might do Finnifty little later, but right now I will wait for some time, at least for 10:30 or so. Until such a time, I do not want to take up any positions on Finnifty. I think that's all. Starting off the day, and take care all of you. Right, time is at about 11:10 a.m. Finnifty, what happened today? It actually fell till I think probably this could be today's bottom. We do not know right now, but as of now, I would say this is today's bottom. This is about 950. After there is definitely some bounce back. I have moved from 15 minutes to 5 minutes, and these are the levels that I'm tracking at this point of time. So I did some trades. I actually started with the CU only initially, but then when I see some bounce back and also when it moved out of the channel, I thought I will probably buy a PE position. But then the PE position I bought somewhere here, which is about 23,750 PE. The rationale behind this is I already have a CE position, and these are all heavy loaded CE positions. The position size is the number of positions are quite higher than the P. So now you can see the P is falling, but that's all right. I'm not much worried. I'll tell you why, and I will go through my trades and then see what is really happening. And I think it's falling. Let's quickly look at what's happening, right? So there is not much of an impact, as you can see here. Right? The reason was I do have heavy loaded. Where is this heavy loaded CE, which is about 23,900. And also, as I said, I did one PE position here, right? But I will probably exit this PE position when it matches to this 97, which is at the cost, while I gain on the CE side. The rationale, as I said, very simple. Let me go back to the chart. At this point of time, I did the sell PE, which is 750. In fact, the original price was about 110, I think, and after that I did add some more quantity, and then that's where this particular thing would ideally called as an injection. I'll tell you why. Let me go back to Kite. So let's look at this position, right? So let's look at the chart. We just saw that in the chart, right? So yeah, technically this is an injection because within 1 minute it moved from 25 to 92. It's quite massive, and some of the people who had put the stop losses, they must have lost. But I did not put stop losses today, so that's the reason I could still sustain. So I think, as I said, I will put a stop loss at about 97, but right now I did not put. The reason is, anyway, I'm recording this video, so I can see what is happening. So right now, that little injection did not really impact me. The reason was it was a downfall, and then also have heavy loaded positions here. Now, let me go back to trades here, right? So now what happens is I also have a max loss cap at about 3.22 lakhs in case if it falls quite drastically, I'll still make some money. And also right now, as you can see, there is a resistance here, which is about 700, 750, 800, 850. By the time it reaches me, it has to really cross 4 obstacles. So my trades are very far, somewhere here, right? So it has to cross 1, 2, 3, 4 obstacles. So I think it's very that's going to happen. My PE position is somewhere here. The average price is about 97, right? So right now it is trading at about 78. As I said, in case it reaches about 97, which means that it has to expire at about 650. I think if it expires, that's fine. But then the advantage that I would carry is I would be able to adjust these positions down the line, so I can actually move from here to here. What I'll do is I use a trade flow. Probably some of you would have seen this my post. I'm not showing the trade flow right now because it will look a little complicated for the first time user, but trade flow is a beautiful tool. Again, free marketing for trade flow and team. I do not get any benefit out of them, but it's a beautiful tool, and probably when I get time I'll explain how trade flow would work. But right now it is fine. So what I'm going to do is, let's go back to Sensible again. So here, as you can see, the open interest maybe I'll go back to channel again. So the highest it says about 23, 849 or 850 right now. And then the probability is about 70%, I think. Yeah, 66%. And then, yeah, so I would expect today it won't cross above 23845, but even if it crosses, I have P as a protection. Now, let me go back to our favorite Zerodha and execute this from trade flow. I'm moving from 23,900 to 23,850. Yeah, so now pretty much all the positions are moved from. You were saying some profits here. That's because it's my overnight strike price. That's the reason you are seeing some profits already. Otherwise, it would have started with 0. I think that's how. So now, as you can see, I have moved the positions from 23,900 CE to 23,850 CE. Where is this? Yeah, 23,850. 23,850 CE somewhere here. And I will stay here for some time and then see how it goes. Now going back to sensible again. Finnifty. So I'm here. We are gaining something on the PE side, and also we're gaining something on the CE side. And then I have used a capital of about 2.3 crores here. And then now instead of 4 coverts, and I have now only 3 supports. That is basically the risk, right? This is visually you can see here. Now earlier I had 4 supports, and then now I had 3 supports. Obviously I'm taking more risks now. And then however, if you remember earlier, I was actually getting on the peak about 5.4 lakhs or whatever, because I took some risk. It actually shows that now I can probably get about 6.31 lakh. I think that's a great example of risk and reward. And you took your protection off, and then instead of 4 protections, you are now with the 3 protections, because you are taking some bit of a risk. Your rewards are going to be little higher. But however, if it breaks here and then goes, my losses would be quite drastically bad. As you can see, the maximum loss I could get is about close to 1 crore, 88.19 lakhs. I think obviously I will not wait till here, right? I will probably, as soon as this breaks, I will take some next steps. I think that's all for now, and this is where our positions are as of now, 3.82. And yeah, Nifty I did not explain, but Nifty, let me go through very quickly. Again, it's a simple trade. There is no difficult logic here. It's 1:2, and I always have been saying that I'm okay to take some risk on the C side, because even if Nifty goes up, my portfolio goes up. So that's where I'll be able to compensate some of the losses from options. But I also have a PE position here in case it will, if the Nifty goes up, I'll be able to compensate. So technically, if you add these two, the money that I'm going to make out of these positions would be very similar, because it's basically close to 10 multiplied by 20,000, and this is basically 20 multiplied by 10,000. But then some of the up moves and down moves, so my losses, I would not get panicked. That's all. All right. Have a great remaining day. Welcome back, and the time is at about afternoon. 1:45, 1:46 rather. So this is my last video before we wind up the day. I have definitely some work after 2 o'clock, and so far so good. I think there is quite a bit of a volatility in Finnifty. It went up, came down, went up. I think it stayed there, but then there was definitely some fall here. And then this is within the lines that I drew in the morning, which is 23638, and I think probably I would have done some adjustment here and there. But then right now I'm using 15 minutes candle. 15 minutes chart, and top is select 23886, and most probable would be 23760. And one of you asked how do I decide? So you can actually see something called Pearson value here, which is indirectly, if redesigns, it's a probability. So this is the I usually pick up the highest possible number below 1 hour. That's what which is required for intraday trading. And if you really move, let's say for 5 minutes, and yeah, you got to see 0.88. It doesn't make sense right now, and also it looks quite flat. So mostly the flat things wouldn't work, and today it might work. We do not know. But yeah, typically I pick up the highest probability one. I do not know whether this is the right model or not, but it mostly works, and you also probably change some of the parameters and then see if it works for you. And obviously any indicator we can't take in isolation. We have to really look at some of the things like I also use stochastic MTM and also bit RSI and then see, and definitely there is a combination of some bit of let's say this one, right? You can also look at open interest. So this is also one of the important ones. This is Nifty, but if you go to Finnifty, there is a massive resistance at 23700, and this is, if you actually go to each time frame, a lot of calls were written at this point of time. So which means that it would act like resistance, but then there is no holy grail, and some of these things can break. I had seen even open interest getting broken, and then you suddenly get on to another 100 points, and but then yeah, all these things you can only trust up to probably about 80%. The remaining thing is our luck. All right, I think going back to my positions now, I think they're doing, I think overall good, and there is some adjustment that was done within Nifty, and I have moved CE position 900 CE to 850 CE, which is in losses right now, but that's all right. So I'm going to manage this on Thursday, and maybe I'm thinking I'll close Nifty today and then do a fresh trade on this one. So that's the plan right now. And coming back to Finnifty is very straightforward. So I have moved from, compared to previous video, I have moved from pretty much I closed all the positions. So here if you can see, I closed let's say 800, 750 CE. I also closed a 750 PE with some losses because there was a market fall. But that's all right. It's not a massive loss that I incurred. But 750 CE, 600 PE, 600 PE anyway to 100 position. But right now I'm at 700 CE, and I also entered 700 PE. In case if market reverses back, I will definitely not get into too much of a losses. And again, these positions are pretty much, I think it's 20, if it is 20, yeah, it's about close to 1/8, I think. Yeah, 1/8 kind of a thing. This is basically in case market reverses, I would not get into massive losses. So that's the main thing. In fact, I had 3600 positions, but then just now half of the positions got executed. As I said, I set these rules in the tool that I use, so it's not required for me to monitor. And then as soon as I take a trade, I set these rules so that there is nothing that I need to do, pretty much rule-based execution. I think that's all for now, and I think as of now we're doing fairly good, and we're left with another 2.5 hours, and I will be busy for next at least 1.5 hours, and then as I said, I had set up the rules, so I would not be monitoring anything. All right, that's all. Thank you so much. Welcome back. Time is at about 3:27. I think we are pretty much done with the day, and we are left with another 3 minutes or so. This is 5 minutes chart, and I'm expecting Finnifty is going to expire around 23,550 straddle. Actually, I have some positions there, and overall, I think there is definitely some volatility. In fact, right, it came down, went up, and stayed there, but then there is some bit of a drop here. And this was the lowest point that I drew earlier, which is 23262. This is not broken, but then I had to move from 15 minutes chart to 5 minutes chart. That's the only difference. Let's look at it. Nifty, there was definitely some bit of a linear regression applicable here. Yeah, I think Nifty pretty much stayed in the but then, as I said, I think it's fairly would expire at 550 straddle. We can look at the synthetic futures. As synthetic futures is showing 23648, 647. I think that's midpoint. I know currently it is trading at about 663 or 669, and it will get adjusted just after the close. No, as I said, I'm not carrying forward any positions for this one. Thursday, usually what would happen is if you have a holiday, either it would be either massive gap up or gap down. I do not want to take that kind of a hit, and that's the reason I did not do that. I think suddenly there is a pop, it went up, came down. I'm not sure what happened. Yeah. As of now, I think this is what it is, right? got about 6 lakhs on Finnifty and about close to 3 lakhs on 3 lakhs 7. Let's refresh this. All right, so 3,72,000 on Nifty. I think that's the day for today. And today, thankfully, all the strategies worked out well. Bye bye.